Going live. We're going live. All right. I'm going to share that screen over here and do what I'm doing. That is how I set up my prompt here because I've been using AI as much as I can. Oh, I always do this part. I get to show. All right. Yeah. So what I've been doing is trying to figure out how we turn this. I'm watching a guy talk about the very thing I'm trying to do. And I was like, let me stop watching and start doing, and I'll kind of keep that down there to see. Um, because what I'm doing today, right now, is trying to use, well, I'm doing a lot of stuff with AI. Like I've been working on the story and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, matter of fact, let me see what it said about that because I asked it. I can handle fairly large, 7,000 words. Okay. Well, let's see. Y'all want to see what happened? I don't know if y'all can hear. Did it allow you to share audio? Hold on a second. Okay, let me do this because I'm not sure if I did that correctly. Because, oh, there is system audio, but the fact is that monitor is just a monitor. So I don't know. But I'm going to try something, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not, but I've been working on character. Like there's characters that I've been feeding the GPI or GPT to work on this story, a couple of different stories. It's just some ideas I've had for years and years and years, but never been like, I guess you could say I'm too lazy to type it all out or I lose it because, come on, man. So anyway, God damn it. This is really pissing me off. All right. It's really not that big. How come I can't just grab it? There and there. Now, this thing says this other GPT device is a voice generator, so it can generate it to text uh, or text to speech. So we're going to see. Oh, um, I specialize in creating audio files from text, essentially taking written text into spoken audio. I don't know what it's going to do. I just looked up there and there was an AI voice generator as part of my chat GPT um, stuff. Like you got all these additional GPTs you can use. Like there's a lot. And I am, oh, wrong space again. Audio file request. There we are. Did it take mine? It didn't. You got rid of mine. Yeah, but that's okay. I didn't do anything. That's what I was thinking about. Okay. So I'm going to tell it to do a voice or whatever. Do your thing. Do your thing with this and see what you do. It may take a minute. So let me. Oh no! Here's a transcript. I know what I gave you. Now, where's the audio? I'm not sure what this is supposed to give me. Because I'm thinking to take my stories as I build them, because I can give it the characters and stuff, and then tell it the ideas that I want, and then to put them out somehow. But I don't. That just gave me back what. Here's a transcript. How would you rate this GPT so far? You didn't do text to speech. Oh, I'll create the article. Please confirm everything looks good. Um, I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm just gonna okay it and then let it make a file. Maybe not. Is it making a file? It don't appear to be making a file. Where's the audio? I like testing whether it can even handle like my poor typing skills. Like I don't even bother with changing the words, although sometimes that's a problem because I was saying something. I asked it to do something the other day. I said the something or other, and uh, I had mistyped BOE somehow. I don't even know how, but it was giving me some report about oboes and trading. And it's like, there's really nothing to connect oboes and trading. Are you trying to draw a metaphor? And I was like, not oboe, and fix the whole thing. But um, where's the audio? I haven't created audio because I need you to confirm that the transcripts. And once you confirm everything's good, I'll generate the audio. But would you like me to proceed? Yes. Very literal. It did say to me that it needed me to confirm it. All right. So it is starting that. This won't take a whole long time. Oh, okay. Text me wants to talk to that thing. Well, of course. I guess, I don't know. Your audio file has been generated. You can download and listen to it using the following link. Let's see what we can see. Let's see what it do. This AI stuff is really pretty fun. I want to learn more and more about it. So, um, yeah, because this is all to sell stuff. So that's a company. Yeah, there you go. They want to update. I don't want to do a preview. I don't want to do any of that. It shouldn't let you go down the road. If you, okay, it's. Let's see what it do. That's the text. There's the voice. Where do I listen to it? New document. Huh? Oh, I'm trying to hear this thing I've made. Oh, there's preview. Let's see if that's it.
The rumble of engines signaled their arrival long before they reached the abandoned warehouse.
Hey, listen. Oh, that ain't. That's just what the voice is going to sound like. Oh, you can choose different voices. Right on. But I'm sure there's going to be something.
A clear and articulate voice suited for presentations.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
A well-rounded voice perfect for narration.
A crisp voice suited for narration.
A strong voice ideal for documentaries.
A deep voice perfect for narration.
A hoarse voice suited for video games.
A casual voice perfect for conversational use.
A soft voice ideal for video games.
A casual voice suited for conversational use.
Of course.
A deep voice perfect for narration.
And that's premium, so that's going to be one I can't use. So stop checking the ones that you can't use.
A deep voice ideal for narration.
Oh, that's the one you hear everywhere on every commercial.
A crisp voice suited for narration.
A hoarse voice suited for video games.
A casual voice suited for conversational use.
Conversational voice is suited for video games.
That's all premium. Oh. Is there a way I can do only show me the ones that I can have? Well, logic dictates don't go no further down. And you'd be lucky if you can get standard.
A deep and resonant voice ideal for impactful narration.
A crisp and precise voice suited for
A
detailed
delicate and gentle
explanations.
voice, a
Ideal
refined
for
and
soothing
elegant
voice,
content.
perfect
A
for
clear
upscale
and articulate
contexts.
voice suited
A
for
standard voice
presentations.
ideal for general use.
A deep and resonant voice ideal for impactful narration.
We'll see if it lets me have it. It's saying, okay, bye, love.
The rumble of engines signaled their arrival long before they reached the abandoned warehouse.
Okay. Estimated length, 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Oh, there it is.
The rumble of engines signaled their arrival long before they reached the abandoned warehouse. Desiree watched from the shadows as a convoy of black SUVs rolled into the lot, headlights cutting through the fog of the early evening. The man she was waiting for stepped out of the lead vehicle, his boots hitting the pavement with precision, just as they had on the battlefield. Major Marcus Griffin, though few called him by his rank these days, was a force of nature. Built like a tank, with a chiseled jaw and eyes that had seen too much, he had returned from war and turned the city into his new battleground. His former soldiers, now a mix of contractors and mercenaries, moved like shadows behind him. They were the kind of men who didn't ask questions, they just followed orders. And Griff gave the orders. Desiree stepped out from the shadows as he approached, her eyes narrowing slightly.
I got a story with
Griff smirked when he saw her, the corners of his mouth pulling into a familiar grin. Still playing puppet master, I see, he said, his deep voice rumbling like the engines that had just cut off behind him. And you're still running your little army, Desiree shot back, her voice smooth and unbothered. Griff chuckled. It's a profitable business. Construction contracts, private security, whatever the city needs. And some things it doesn't. These guys know how to survive. Desiree knew exactly what he meant. Griff's network of former soldiers had become the muscle for the city's power players. Developers like Phillips relied on them to enforce deals, clear out problem areas, and keep prying eyes away from sensitive projects. Griff had turned his military training into a lucrative enterprise, and in return, the city turned a blind eye to how he got things done. She took a step closer. I need your help with Phillips. He's about to turn on his friends, and that's going to be a problem for all of us. Griff raised an eyebrow. Phillips? He's been good to me. What's changed? He's scared, Desiree said, her voice low. The feds are circling, and he's looking for a way out. If he talks, it won't just be Langley who goes down. It'll be you, me, everyone. Griff's face hardened. He hadn't gotten this far by letting fear rule him.
That is cool.
His men were loyal, but even they could only do so much if the law came knocking. He glanced back at his convoy, then returned his gaze to Desiree. What do you need? He asked. Talk to him. Make him understand the stakes. If he's going to burn, it'll be on his own terms, not ours. Griff crossed his arms, considering her words. He wasn't the type to be easily swayed, but Desiree knew how to push the right buttons. She didn't need to remind him that Phillips wasn't just a client, he was a liability. And liabilities had a way of getting people killed. Fine, Griff finally said. I'll handle Phillips, but I want something in return. Desiree tilted her head, intrigued. And what might that be? I need access. Langley's been getting cozy with the mayor's office, and there's a project coming down the line that I want in on. Private contracts, big money. I need a seat at the table. Desiree smiled. It was always about leverage with men like Griff. I'll make sure Langley gets you what you need. Just take care of Phillips. Griff nodded, and without another word, he turned back to his men. Desiree watched as the SUVs roared to life again, disappearing into the night. She knew Griff would keep his word. His soldiers would see to that. But she also knew that every deal came with a price, and Griff was already calculating his next move. As the rumble of engines faded into the distance, Desiree pulled out her phone and dialed a number she hadn't used in months. John? She said when the line picked up. Griff's in. Phillips won't be a problem. There was a pause on the other end of the line. And Griff? Langley asked. He's expecting a seat at the table. Make sure he gets it. She hung up before Langley could protest. Desiree knew how to play the game, and tonight she just moved two of the most dangerous players into position.
Yeah. I'm building a story like that dude Griff has these soldiers, but he works for that developer. And part of the developments that they have all around the city, like where wealthy people live, but there's like kind of an outer ring of houses that are nice, but not, you know, not pool in the well, pool in the backyard ain't that big of a thing no more, but not tennis court and the pool in the backyard. Like, but they're that outer ring around those houses with the golf course and all that stuff. And they have like as they built these developments for the wealthy and around the wealthy, it's like they've included underground tunnels to connect a couple of the different houses. It's like so it's like they've got some unreported defensive structures and storage facilities and things like this that will come into play because I've got this whole story built out around because this woman Desiree, when you figure out who she is and the way that she kind of gets in, and it's all built on like some long ago connections that probably don't make sense until like way later, 30 years later, when they come to a head because people who've gone on the different tracks are now coming. Yeah, it's gonna be great. But anyway, it's kind of cool because working with the GPT, I'm able to do. There was this movie a long time ago. I don't even remember what it was, but it was this movie I used to watch. It would come on cable over and over again, and it was some guy was trying to make a movie, and these directors like so he had this whole story and he's like telling the story about how the movie goes and then you can see the movie playing as he's telling what he wants to make, and then they just go like, wait a second, you change this to that and you can make it this, and he ends up in this whole other thing. But it's crazy because I'm doing that with this story because I'm like, no, he shouldn't be that guy, he should be this, or they should be connected this way. And then I kind of and I'm just giving it who these people are, what their motivation is, the things that I've had in there in the past. Like I didn't write the actual rumbles or she walked across the room and picked up the coffee cup, that kind of stuff. Putting them in these positions, it's almost like doing. I watched a little bit the other night. My wife was watching uh, Whose Line Is It Anyway, where they just give these characters give these performers the outline of the scene and then they make the scene, and it's kind of like that. I mean, but I give it much more detail of what I want it to do, and with the voice to type options and things like that, it just makes it great to be able to do it. And I don't even know if you can you see. I'm gonna try this and see if it works. um I'm not positive if it does work on. Oh, it doesn't work on the computer, so I can't show you the voice. You've probably seen the voice. I mean, I do use it all the time. That's what I was going to say is I'm able to just say, and I can use the computer as the Windows 8 let you type, voice type. But yeah, I'm able to just say, like the other day, well, I actually haven't put this all in. I've started this character, which is another character named Cedric who went to high school, went to the military, with a very specific plan in mind to get some bills that he could get, or not bills, get take advantage of some, be there long enough to do what he needed to do to get his little money to come back to the city and do what he was trying to do, which was to build this thing. And then he's just gone and doing what he's doing. And then 30 years later, he'll come in contact with some of these guys because. But here's what I'm thinking. I'll just go ahead and say it like you're gonna steal my idea, right? But he is somebody who joins the army, has a very good high test on the ASVAB, which is the test that they give you when you go in, like to figure out where you want to go or whatever. And so he gets picked like right off the bat to be like an A1 number soldier because he has this great profile or whatever, and he's physically fit and he does the whole thing. He goes through the military, but he always knows he's got a very specific plan. He's just going for this one tour to get his money and come out and do his thing. And so, but he gets by being in the elevated status, right, he's going to meet some of these people who are like super soldiers or whatever, but he knew them way back in the day. And so he is not, how will I put this? He is not tainted by, or he has not been shaped by the stuff they've been through, right? They've been in combat and whatever stuff they've been involved in. Um, and he hasn't been in that stuff in this time frame. He's been building up his own little quiet, which was his plan all along. He doesn't want any part of any of it, anything. He just wants to build a safe net around himself and to move. And that's what he's done. It's kind of built this whole system that will come into play, a real estate, sub real estate empire. He is black, lives on this side of the city, on the east side of the city, has all these houses and stuff, and is just not living large, living well, and doing his thing. Although he also knows from that time in high school, uh, knows some of these people, and it'll. I'm still trying to formulate how they're all connected, and so I'm feeding that in as I do it, to kind of see, just where it will go, and I'll probably use some of this text, what I just said, to go back and cut it out, put it in there, and say, okay, this is some of his motivation, and this is that. So anyway, I'm also working on, because that's what I'm here for, is the trading thing, but I'm trying to put together it's like my trading plan. I've got a bunch of different stuff in a couple of folders so that I can be able to kind of assess how I want my actual trading plan to be, because I want it to be very mechanical, where I can like pick it up, look at it, and it says right here, this is what I'm doing. It's Monday, I'm doing, what I mean, to where it could be, as it was described to me, the working manual for my professional operation. Because in my vision, I want to be able to have people do the things, the different stages, to learn the next step, right? Like, if I have somebody whose job is to mark up charts, to do, what I did the first part of the week when I did the Monday, or did the dailies and the monthlies and the weeklies, and that's what they're doing, they will start to see and understand what they are doing, and why it fits into the next stage, and then why, and then how, and move forward over time, however much time that takes. I mean, I'm not rushing anybody. It's taken me months to get to this point. I started with a vision. That's the other thing, is I'm working with my chat GPT, and I'm trying to find that thing. Oh yeah, my foundation. To this thing has helped me put together a very good structure on how to build it. How to get people in, how to work. Yeah, there's a whole lot to this thing that I'm trying to do, and I'm defining the mission, vision. Yeah, the Spread Love KC is about empowering people to do the damn thing, to live their dreams, and be able to get out of the rat race, not try to live large, but to live well, to be able to access the financial tools that exist in this system that we are not taught, that we are not told about. And I've lived here in the affluent community, the white community, however you want to phrase it, for a long time. They don't know either. I mean, they benefit, to be sure. They benefit from parents who have just inherited, and there's that roll forward that happens when there was a massive imbalance in this country that has existed, and so that roll forward has continued, but they don't really understand how the rules of the game are played either. Like, they're not telling their children, at least not in that outer ring around the wealthy center, right? Like, I don't doubt that in the places where the 1% per se live, then that they don't talk to their kids about specifically how to set up a trust and where the trust needs to do and how to fund this and how to set up tax shelters and do 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 do. They do that. Not my neighbor. I mean, my neighbor is 80 years old and he's trying to figure out how to live in retirement. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not everybody. It's not they're not telling you because they're telling them. They're like it's not being told, but it is there and it's available, and we now have access more and more. As I think more and more about, now I'm getting all waxing philosophical, I guess you would say, but when I think about the amount of information that is now available to us all and the technology that is now available to us all to be able to set us where we can do things together or do things ourselves, right? We don't have to wait for a government program to be made. We can find ways to fund between and betwixt ourselves. I was thinking about this thing just yesterday. I was thinking about my foundation yesterday, thinking like, man, I heard a lady talking about needing to be having been diagnosed with cancer and some of the things that you have to go through as a woman uh, to save your eggs because of the radiation and stuff, to be able to fund those kind of programs, because one of the things that she was talking about is that it costs like a bunch of money and people don't have it. When some lady who's taking the bus to work every day has to now deal with this, then maybe she doesn't have that ability to think 30 years down the road or 20 years or 10 years down the road that, yeah, I beat this cancer, but now I can't have kids. We should still be able to help in feeding, but mostly teaching people how to fund themselves. And yeah, there's just a lot of different stuff that I want to work together with that, and I'll get into that at some point. Where I'm at right now. Oh, I had this Weibo account up because I'm trying to figure out, like, I have lost money. I know that. What I'm trying to find are my dividends, because you would think there would be like a history. Oh, wait, last month. Funds. Okay, here we are. Dividend. Now where are we looking for? There we are. So not what the balance was, but the amount of the dividend. Right. So on those two stocks that I bought last week on the 7th, this loan and this GNL, all these other things were little deals. I don't care about you seeing it because it's only $600 and started as 1,000 and I lost a few $100, 387. But I'm up to 672 because in reality there was some other, like the dividends, like one was $25 and these dividends have added. Now I figured this thing out with the dividends. Like Apple has continually given me not just the stock increase, but this extra 4 cents every couple of weeks or months. And so I got it in May. Well, sometime I got it, and then it was a couple months after I opened the account. It's like 0.17 shares. It's not a whole lot. It's 0.1718 shares. Um, and it gives me 4 cents once, twice. So twice. That was in August. Okay. So twice, that's 8 cents that it's given me. But it's also gone up. That little 17% of a stock, 18% of a stock has gone up $10 for me. I mean, that's pretty cool. Ford is also giving dividend once, twice, 13 cents both times. Yeah. Okay, so that's 26 cents added. So it is only down. I'm thinking this is how I'm valuing it, right? Balancing it out, right? Is that it's down $1.75 on the value of the stock, but I've got the additional 26 cents, so it's really only down $1.50. Now, I will wait until that gets to a point where, like, I don't want to give up Apple just because I've always liked Apple, but and it's actually paying more than it's like until that open P&L comes down, and I got to figure out how to figure it as a percentage, or does it do it? It does do it as a percent. So until that comes down some, I won't get rid of that one or Spotify for that matter. I will get rid of Ford when it gets to its break even price, when it gets to the price that it was given to me at, so that I don't lose anything on it. And then I will have collected the dividends for it. Like on this loan, I'm still down 560 for those 14 shares, but I received $1.61, and I just gotta wait until it gets to its spot where it'll sell again at its flat price. G&L, look at this one because I don't have it here anymore because it was not, I got rid of it, but it was 275. And see, I started looking at this, and this will start to change because these are the stocks, yeah, by the P&L. So the ones that have given me the most increase since I've had the account, and Siri, because I bought a lot of Siri at one point and basically did what I'm doing now, but didn't realize that's what it was. Um, but you can see, you go down with all the stocks that I have had a positive interaction with. This was all this pre-market day trading I was doing, because I was buying all these stocks and getting rid of them real fast. But here's the sad part: is that my red line is really a lot more. I've lost on a lot more than I've gained on. That will start to change because now my it'll only be green from here on out. They will only be green. I mean, they may be red for a time, like what was the one I was just looking at? That loan may be red. Like I think it will show up as a loss of $5.60. Or is it not in there? Huh. It's not showing up there. Are those only ones that are closed down? No, there it is. It's showing. Oh, a profit and loss 357 right now. I'm not sure why that's changed. It looks different. But okay, so into the threes. There it is. So that loan stock right there, yeah, there's $1.61 is paid in dividends, but it's down 357. At some point, when I go to actually get rid of it, right, which will be whenever it reaches that point. I don't even have it set to close. I got an alarm to remind me when it gets up here to go ahead and set it. Like, I mean, I could, I guess, yeah, take that. No, I don't like what that's doing. Yeah, I'll wait till it gets there, then I'll just set my stop loss and my thing right there. Basically, I will continue to watch it until such time as it is back up here ready to sell. And if that takes forever, because this is a long time, been since August 21. I wasn't looking when I bought that one. It was at a high. So I really shouldn't have bought that one. I should have bought one that was in the midst of a more, in this kind of range where it could be doing some things. I bought it at the all-time high. See, it's had time to go down, which makes sense because, I mean, this is the thing I'm starting to grok these different concepts, right? This is what you might call profit taking, because people who bought this thing back here for whatever reason and watched it go up, or if they bought it here and it shot way up here, they're like, man, let's just say this was their risk. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times my money. I'm gonna take some. I'm selling half of my position so it can come back down. That's going to bring the price back down because they're all out there selling, which means people are buying and supply and demand. So the price starts to drop back down. And probably why it dropped so swiftly. Like people are like, whoa, this is as high as it's been since 2021. And this knucklehead bought it. Let me get out now while I got a sucker to buy. So they sold it to me. And then the price went down. And as soon as the price went down, it got down here where once again, man, it's crazy how this works. Where once again, you could see activity had said, this is where we're trying to decide what the value is. And then they pushed it up. There were buyers left here, which then pushed the price up. All that to say, I'm waiting for the continued rise. I'm hoping for a boom, boom. And if that don't happen, I will have to just sit there and keep my little 14 shares, knowing that they will pay me $1.61 every 3 months, and just take that and be happy with that until such time that it gets up. Oh, you're not seeing that. Until such time that it gets up to back up here where I got it. Now, on the GNL, which I sold already, you can see where did it go. Type GNL. Yeah. So with that one, you can see last week when I bought it, because I bought them on the same day. Last week when I bought it, last Monday, it was down low. It had come down, the right time to buy it, because it's already showing you that it can go up. It's already got a dividend coming up. So you know that when you get that dividend, people were going to be trading for it. So that's exactly what happened. And so I was able to buy it here. I collected the dividend a few days later, and then, which I didn't get the dividends until this week, but I was on the date of record for the dividends, and then was able to sell it and I came back at the end of the week and it had gone up. So I got rid of it for a profit. So if you look at them together, right, the loan and the GNL, I mean, on that GNL, and I'm trying to think about this as an account. These are all just different instruments. On that GNL, I made $5.35 on the share price. So in reality, huh? So okay, I don't want to take any losses. So I'm not going to get rid of the loan until it gets to its price. However, there is a point where I could say, okay, at a account level, I made 5% on that one, and since I did both of them at about the same amount of value, 14 shares. What did I have? Trading records. So I bought 10 shares, $80. So I spent 90 bucks on the GNL. Well, no, I bought 8 and 2. Yeah. So I bought 2 shares, average price, right? Or I mean, 2 buys because I was like, let's just make them even. So that's 90 bucks. And then that loan, I bought 14 shares at $5. So yeah, about the same, right? 5 times, that's 50. 5 times 40 is 5 times 4, 5, 6, 60, and 24, 84. So yeah, about the same amount of money, ballparkish. Because I think I had done the thing the first week and it was 90. Well, there, that tells you. Well, no, it doesn't. Just shut up. I took all the accounts, or I chose to and put the same amount of money on them, or roughly the same amount of money on them in the live account. The fact that one of them paid out that much, I could close them both out and still be ahead, right? Let's do some reasoning with our buddy. Yeah, GPT-01 uses reasoning, advanced reasoning. So we're going to see. So let's ask it the question, right? What is the question? If I buy 2 different stocks, what did I do? At the same investment price. One share was 8, the other one was 5. One share was 8, the other was 5, but I spent the same 90 on each. Okay, then what? Then got what would this tell me? This tells me that I got on the loan, I'm down 357, but that's saying that it's down 560. How is it? Market value 772. 14. Calculator go. See, that's the thing. There's so many numbers. I bought it for about 14 shares. It's no, they don't tell me the price. That just says market value. Last price, average price. Okay, so my average price is what I spent. So I bought them for $5.92, which is $82.88, right? Yes, that was my total cost. And my total cost for GNC is not up there. This orders, no, filled, no, on, no, no, there are no orders to be considered. Okay. So GNL, so that 82.88 is what I spent on there. Right now they're 552. So if I was just showing right now, 14 times 5.52 is 77.28 minus how much did that say? 82.88, 82.88, because that's the price I paid, and that will give me a $5.60, which is what this thing said. Hmm? Didn't something say you down 560 on it? Yeah, right there, open P&L 560. Okay, so I'm down 560 on loan, but on GNL I'm up 535 on the P&L plus dividends of 275 and $1.61. So I'm gonna go over this and try and figure this out. Make sure I'm understanding that I didn't lose money even if I closed that loan, because I might do that just so that I can now focus on the rule, don't buy it at its high. Because if I'm correct, my GNL and my loan gave me dividends of $275. So that's $4.36 in dividends altogether. So $4.36. So I'm gonna add that onto. So right now I'm down 560 on loan, and add. I'll just do a 275 for that dividend, plus $1.61 for that dividend. Means I'm down $1.24. But I haven't added in my P&L on the GNL, which was 535. So now I take that and add $5.35, and I'm up $4.11 for the week. On an investment that I tied up of, now let me see if I can do this correctly. That total cost was $82.88 plus the total cost on the GNL, which they don't give me the total cost. Yeah, they don't give me the total cost, but they show me here that average price of $8.59 with 10 shares. Just move the decimal over, so that's 85 and 82. So I'm gonna just say 90 and 90. So we're gonna say the $4.11, because this is actually less than 180. It's actually, well, let's get as close as we can. 85.90. So we'll just call that $86 because I am not trying to think no more. And then my purchase price was 82.88. So if we call that 83 and 86, that's 169. So that's $4.11 divided by $169 gives me a 2.4% in investment or profit on my capital for the week. And if I scale that up, instead of spending 169, if I had done that on the bigger one, yeah, this is my strategy. I'm going to use this account. So we're starting here at 50 minutes into this live. We're starting here with this live account 672, and then I'm going to only do these sales. I think I am going to sell that one just to get out of it so that I can just claim that, and then that will be the strategy, just to capture that dividend, just to go dividend, there you are, you're mine. Dividend, there you are, you're mine. And then we can just start. I mean, yeah, because then if you take, and this is where I was wrong, this is where you can't just trust the chat GPT, so that you know that too. Because I was using it earlier. I did it in my own head, so I'm going to ask it again if I got those numbers right. But it didn't do the numbers right on what I asked it to do because, well, that's not fair, I guess. Because I just had, if you like assistance creating refining, if 540 is at 0.8%, what is the number? You find the number 500 equals 0.80% times what number? Convert 0.80 to a decimal. 0.008. That sounds right. It is, because you move a 2 over for the hundreds, tens, hundreds. Yeah, okay. Now set up the equation. 540 67,500. And what I was trying to figure out at that point in time was where my trading what did I ask you? I said 540 is 0.0 or no 0.8. So it was a different trade. I don't remember which one it was, but I was trying to figure out what the trade was because it was saying I don't know what this number is. This says 0.2 is 135, but I don't know 0.2 of what. 0.2%, 20%, or 0.2% of the entire account? I don't think that's right because that count, if I clear this out and I start the account with $7,351.82. Actually, to get the percentage thing, I would do $135. So I would say clear that $135 divided by $7,351.82, and that will give me what percent? 0.01836, yada 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 yada. I suppose that could be round it up to a 0.2%. They're saying 0.08% is that. Let me see that. 50 divided by $7,351.82 is 0.006801. So it's off by the same little 1.5%. So I don't know the rounding rules. I'm just not sure what that number represents. The only other place to look is that same 0.80. Okay, this is the same thing because 535 divided by 7,251.82 is what percent? 0.0727777, which would be 0.073, not 0.8. Yeah, I just don't know how to read this, what that percentage represents. And I kind of want to know what that is because I don't want it showing me this number. I don't want to be looking at it and going like, oh, well, that's $135 and that's, but maybe I do. Maybe I just need to swallow that. I like the percentages instead of the deal, the dollar amount, because I don't want to focus on the dollar. I want to focus on the process and focus on, okay, am I moving from here to here, and then just focus on that. I mean, I want to develop the discipline to be able to trade from here to here, not, from here to here. This was nerve-wracking. I mean, I had to sit there and wait all that time. Well, that one was there. And I had to sit there and wait all that time for it to come out. And it wasn't, well, as I said here, did I even look at the zone before I traded right into a supply zone? So that was my error right off the bat. That should have been a short rather than a sell anyway. But I want to develop the discipline to be able to just wait it out. Like this one, which I just kind of took as a I had the full, that's right. I did have the full, it was all the way down here to 0.80, which was 540 and 535 because it's dealing with pieces of the number. It's rounding some stuff. So I know that those numbers are not exact. So yeah, that's what it was. This was down at 540. So it was a 1-to-1. And then since it was Friday and coming to the close, I just brought it up here so that it doesn't stop me out, or so that I didn't get, I don't know why. Because I was worried about drops in price because of the weekend. But ultimately, what I'm trying to do here this morning too is I'm gonna have to download all this history because it's one of my Saturday things is to go and look at that's not the one. This is the one. That's not the one. Oh, I'll find it. I've got, and maybe I just don't have it up at the moment, but I've got a sheet that has all of my trades. Oh yeah, this is the one. It's just somewhere down at the bottom. And I'll update this with my trades for this week. And see how we're looking. I mean, because the thing of it is, I started, this was that $500 account that went up a little bit and then just sunk not quite $1,000 in the hole before finally getting it back up. And now it's back at even. So about $500, a little over 500. So I need to add those totals, make a chart of each week to kind of see where I'm at. And like I said, I'm not quite at, I think this one is 500 trades. So I might be close to 1,000 trades between the three of them, because this one is 537 plus whatever I did this week. Then 370. Oh yeah. So that's 900. And then this is 60. And then this week. So yeah, I'll have 1,000 trades this week. They will be wildly different because they're all, so they won't really show me a real hit rate, but they will show me a hit rate, like how frequently are my trades doing something. And then I can start to make some adjustments and make some adjustments and make some adjustments. This is why I'm working 2 different strategies at the moment. And this is more for the fam. Because again, in case anything happens to me, I need to pick this shit up, because this right here is going to be the beginning of just that generator. Just a generator. Because if I can make $4 off of 160, are you following me, cameraman? If I can make $4 off of 160, well, 10 times 160 is $1,500, $1,700. Then I can make $40. Still having the 1,700, making the 40. I can 10 times that, say 15,000. Then it's 300. Right? If, just an if I have an account that is $15,000 times 0.01%, we'll be pulling $150 a week from it. That's if you don't, and that's if you, it's only 1%. As we saw this week, I was at 2. If it's only 1%, and if you don't, add that money back in. Like, don't take the 150, leave it in there. You leave it in there, you leave it in there, you leave it in there, then it becomes, instead of 17, it becomes 18, 19, 20. 1% of that is more, 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 and now you're adding it, and now you can take that check out of it and still let it grow, whilst learning the other strategies that will do much better than 3% or 1% rather, over here. Yeah, because if you can again, develop the skill and patience to wait for the moves that are happening, identify them, and then ride with them. It sounds so much simpler than it is, but it's not nearly as complicated as you might want to make it. So take the time to look at it. Look at it. Start to see what's happening so you can kind of see. Man, that gas is down there again. That's an hour. Yeah, tomorrow I'll go through tomorrow morning and mark up all of those. Right now I need to be focusing on what I'm supposed to be focusing on, which is the downloading my paper trading history. So I want to get that one. I want to download, export that or other. Account history. Export one. And I believe I want orders. That tells me what's. No, that doesn't tell me what's happened already. I did account history. What do I do for? Nah, I want history. Because that has the stop losses in that. Okay. So I just downloaded account history. And now I want to download export data. History. Okay. History all and account history. Okay. And now I'm going to switch and do all four of those. History. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I need those others too. Export that. Data. History. And I'm trying to figure out how to get this automated because there's a way I am almost certain that every time one of those little things pops up down over here in the corner when you're trading, you'll put in an order and then as soon as price hits it, you get that little, when you get them lines to tell you when price hits one of those lines, whether it's to buy it or it's to sell it for profit or for a loss, it gives you a little alarm thing pops up over here in this corner right here. And that can be set to also send me an email so that I could be like out and about and get an email and say, oh, the trade just ended or just got into it. Now, I believe there are AI tools that will allow me to take an email of that nature, immediately extract from that email, because the email would contain the price that I entered in, the price that I put in for my stop loss, the price that I put in for my take profit, the price that it's currently at, well, if it's hitting whatever, it will give me those some different information, and then that can instantly be put into a spreadsheet because AI will take, okay, here's an email from TradingView. TradingView will take it, or AI will take that email, look in the email, look for keywords because the stuff comes in a format. So it'll look for there's this, there's this. Plug them here, here, and here on the spreadsheet. Take that spreadsheet, and then hopefully I'll be able to have some kind of, and then I'll have to play around with the interfaces of it because you can set that stuff to where it'll constantly update like this. I mean, if tomorrow morning I got another dividend, this would just go up a tiny bit. Instead of 539, it'd go to 4 or something, and then that would be a 37 point or tick it over to 38. You know what I mean? So those kinds of, that's what I'm trying to build, is where I can have that kind of information. I don't like that, and that will change as well. So if I can get that to where that's green more than red, and it's red so often because I just have these positions that are just sitting. Now, the positions that I currently have, let's look at them, because this is a live account. And what I currently actually have positions in, oh, okay, I didn't do it yet. I was like, man, those are all going to be dividends this week, but they're not. So I will get rid of most of this on Monday, and I'm going to consult with my professor about the whole thing there and see if I have that understanding down, because I think, because I bought the two, the one will cover it, and instead of waiting for it to get back up to that price, that loan, instead of waiting for it to get to that price, just go ahead and move without it. Just go ahead and sell it, call it a 1% for the week, and then instead of 2%. So taking a loss, but not really a loss, a hedge, which is the whole point of doing multiple things, so that there's some kind of a hedge on it. So I think that will work out. If I do it that way, then I'll go ahead and get rid of the one that's not yet paying a deal. And then, like this week, I bought the Procter and Gamble and the Colgate. Okay, yeah, I bought those two this week. And those, because Procter and Gamble corporate actions will have a cash dividend of $1 per share if you had the stock on the 18th, which was yesterday. So as of yesterday, and it's not going to show up in my dividends thing yet because it hasn't closed out yet. Okay. So as of yesterday, I just earned $1.06 on that particular stock. So even though it's down 40 cents, I could sell it and still be up 60 cents. Same thing with CL. There's a 50-cent share that I got on that particular stock as of yesterday. As the open P&L is down 28 cents. But what I'll do is roll out of it, or I don't know if I'll sell it or not. I mean, I'll have to look and see what it looks like on the chart. Like, that's not far away from getting back to where it needs to be for me, right? I mean, it's 50 cents. 28 cents. 972. Oh, Colgate. Oh, that's market value. That's not the price. So my average price then was $179. It's at 146. So just boom, 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 and I'm gonna go up. You know what I mean? And I think I don't know what that green is. I'm not sure what that purple is. What are these numbers, man? Oh, those are my EMAs. Yeah, it's like, you figure out an 8, a 21, and a 200. Where's the 2? I don't know. Looks like it should be orange. Where's the 200? Is it that far? Oh, that means that price could go down. I don't know, but it's up. It's facing up. And those look like they could cross and start climbing. I mean, we don't know what Colgate Palmolive is going to do as a company, except continue to pay out its dividends and continue to run commercials and be popular and probably trade its way back up. Yeah. So I will just be patient and wait on that one because it don't look like it's far away. And the same with Procter and Gamble. Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason to think that. See, and this is another one of them cases. This is a case where I, second week, kind of looked at it and figured out what I was doing a little bit better because what I did here was and I do kind of remember this was when you look at these, when you initially go in to buy it, so like on Monday or whatever, when I went in, and I don't know how to operate this thing, but you kind of want to look at the last 30 days, right? So, and at the beginning of the week, it was somewhere around here, right? I think it was the 13th, 14th is when I didn't buy it till Wednesday. Okay, so I didn't buy it till the 16th. But at that time, I could see that it had been up here and worked its way down again with that taking profit thing. Because if you remember, I was saying, if you bought it down here and it's way up here, you go like, "Ooh, I can take some of my money," and that's what I think happens: is people sell to take their profit. The price starts to go down a little bit. Plus, other people are like going, "Hey, I hear there's going to be some dividends on that stock. I'm going to buy that stock," and the price starts going up. And you're trying to get it. It would have been even better if I looked at it a week earlier and bought it 2 weeks before the dividend, which is officially the strategy. And so that's what I'm going to start looking at. But I'm just kind of bumper cars, trying to figure out how to make buttons work. And so I got this one here. I still feel confident that I'll be able to get that bump back up to my purchase price because it's at 171.28. I got it for 171.73. This to me looks like buyers have pushed it up from here already. Just as a matter of looking at the chart, they've pushed it up right there. So you still have room to go up into here, and then I'll sell. At that point, I will do like just a trailing stop loss. I'll just put the take profit way up here, and then just once it's even, just take my stop loss and go like as long as it don't dip back down, I'll just let it go as high as it wants to go before I get rid of the stock because at that point it will be actually paying me, although I won't have money in my account. So it will be better to just click get out. So once I get it up there, I'll get out and then I will say I took the dividend and I took the profit. And then I walked away and then I turned around on Monday and I looked for dividend and profit again. And that's the plan. We'll see if it works. We'll see if it works. I think I'm getting ready to get called away for my Saturday morning errands. And I'll come back live and record. And I do actually save when I pull those trades up off of that download folder and put them into there they are. And then I'll pull them all out. Those are from TradingView. I need to get them from Webull here too and start a sheet so that I can show you being my wife. I need to let her know to look at this stuff. In the event of my untimely demise. Or if she want to get involved with figuring out what's going on. All right. I'm out of here for now. And I'll be back.